This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon, Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So. A solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 59, then Friday, rain and thunderstorms expected with a high of 73. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has the best roast beef sandwiches in the Twin Cities, but don't miss out on the chicken, fish, brisket, Philly steak, and more. Maverick's is located in Roseville on Lexington Avenue, 1 mile south of Highway 36. Visit mavericksbeef.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, which means distant thunder. Hey, Cudagy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, joining us tonight is Mali Obomsawin, and she is an award-winning bassist, composer, and she's going to be bringing her voice and perspective through music and storytelling. We're going to talk about an event two events, as a matter of fact, that are happening here in the Twin Cities in the next couple days. And then also after that, we're going to have Ruth Anne Buffalo, CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, a longtime leader and advocate working to support and uplift Native women and families in our community. Always good to see Ruth. And then we're going to end the show with Gina Peltier, a water protector. We're going to talk about what's happening up in north and the attack on our waters. So that we have a jam-packed show, and I'm going to bring Mali on, and I'm just going to say, good to see you, Big Peeny Gigi. Thank you so much for coming on Native Roots Radio.
Kway. Leonie for having me. It's good to be here.
Right on. Hey, I got questions for you, but first, let's talk about what's happening here in the next couple days and your music bringing you to the Twin Cities along with the movie and the concert. And I'm going to try and make them both. Oh, wow.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm happy to be hosted by the Walker tonight and Saturday night. But tonight I'll be doing a live set, like an improvised set with I guess Minneapolis locals now, John Dietrich and of Deerhoof and Andrew Broder, turntablist and a guitarist, and we'll be doing some sort of experimental stuff before a screening of Sugarcane. And then on Saturday, I'll be playing at Ice House with my sort of jazz band, I guess. And we'll be doing music from Sweet Tooth, my debut album, and also an upcoming album that isn't released yet.
So talk to me. So what do you play? You play. It looks like you play a bass fiddle. Is that correct, or do you do a lot of different things?
I kind of do a lot of different things these days. I sing, I play bass, I play guitar, I write songs, I compose. Yeah.
Right on, right on. So, where did you come up with this music? I know I have perfect pitch, and I'm a former trumpet player. So,
I don't.
and then well, that's good because that works well with jazz.
Yeah, right.
The Z chord.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, totally. But where did you get the inkling to pick up an instrument and start jamming?
Yeah, actually, my dad's a musician, and his dad was a musician too. So it's really like goes back, really probably very far in my family. A lot of artists that are Obomsawins and a lot of musicians, and so yeah, I grew up playing, kind of playing with my dad and going to his gigs, and then started playing bass with him, and then I got into other kinds of music, and now I do a lot of different things. But
Well, how is it to do the music for Sugarcane? That's amazing. Like one of my all-time, I'm going to go on a tangent. Sorry, one of my all-time favorite movies is Harold and Maude. And
oh, nice.
yeah, and
That's
I
like,
used to watch that. Matter of fact, when I was young, when I was dating, I would show that movie to my prospective date person and see if they got the movie, got the humor, or if they were going, "Wow, what is it, suicide? What is going on?" So it was kind of a date movie test, but
oh,
the music just drove the thing. And Cat Stevens has always been one of my favorites, and I just there's a lot of pressure on people doing music for a movie.
mm, yeah, man, I love Cat Stevens. I love that movie. It was cool to do. It didn't feel like pressure because I think the way that Julian and Emily wanted to make the movie, they really wanted to like edit around the music. So they kind of just asked me to like write a bunch based on the characters that they were sending me sort of footage of. So I got to know all of the characters through the screen and wrote and I got to know the land too through the screen and just like really wrote based off of the the personalities of the people and of the land,
Mhm.
and then they edited to my music really. So
That's
it
awesome.
was really interactive. Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah, and you didn't so with your music, was it orchestrated or was it a lot of you playing and singing, solo, or how did that work?
Yeah, I wrote a lot of it, wrote and played a lot of it myself, like the bass parts, which I get kind of experimental with the upright bass. People kind of know this, but some people don't. Like the quintessential sound that you hear from the original Godzilla movie is actually an upright bass. And it's like an experimental technique, and they're like dragging like a leather glove across the strings of upright. And so people don't know, but the bass has so much power to make weird sounds that you would never associate with that instrument. So I had a lot of fun with that. And I also play electric guitar, and I sang, and then the parts that I didn't do were like the additional sort of like pedal electric guitar magic and the woodwind instruments.
Before I ask you about reservation dogs, I want to ask you: is it hard to transition from the upright to a electric bass?
No, that's easy. Doing the other way around is hard for people, like electric to upright.
So you want to learn? I want my grandchildren to learn the upper bass before they learn any rock and roll riffs.
It's yeah. I mean, or they could just be rockers. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's true. That's very true. So it's fun. We have a connection, or I have a connection with Reservation Dogs. Bobby Wilson, who was one of the writers on there, was a student of mine when I was a high school teacher back in the day. So it's a small community, isn't it?
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems that way.
So talk a little bit about your relationship and what you did with Reservation Dogs, because it's sad, and I understand, why they didn't go more than 3 years. That's kind of the lifetime of a really a good thing, but it's sad that they're not around. But on the social medias, I see clips popping up all the time.
All the time. Yeah, I think that show will live on forever. I didn't really do much. I mean, I wrote my first album, and Sterling heard about it and reached out to me and was like, I want to use your music, but also, do you have anything else that you haven't put out yet? And at that point, yeah, I had this like crazy sort of jazz experimental album, but I grew up playing a lot of folk music and like songwriter stuff, and so at the same time that I wrote the jazz album, I had also been working on this indie rock album. And so that's how Sterling got a hold of the track There that he ended up sort of forming the Dear Lady episode around. And I think it like touched him, and he felt that was the sort of energy and message of that character and their story, and the Creek stories, like the sort of love that Dear Lady embodies for the children and for her people. And it was really like a really beautiful. Sterling and I are really good friends now, and I think it was like a beautiful like start to like an artistic friendship, because I guess from that episode I put out the record that would become the Dear Lady record, Greatest Hits, but we didn't have a name yet, and we were like, okay, well, this seems to just be a magic little moment, let's call it Dear Lady.
Wow, that should have been a spinoff of Dear Lady. Hey, we got time for another segment. We'd love to have you on for another segment. And am I pronouncing your name right, Mali?
Obomsawin.
Obomsawin. Thank you so much. And being a former high school teacher, it's rough to read, and I have trouble with names all the time. So
it's all good.
I appreciate. Right on. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. Oh.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Deminy from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we're with our brand new friend, Mali, I love talking music and talking, theories and things like that. So I really appreciate this. And can you let our audience know again what's happening at the Walker tonight and tomorrow? What you're gigging at?
Yeah, I'm going to be performing tonight for about 30 minutes before a screening of Sugarcane. The performance tonight will be with John Dietrich of Deerhoof and Andrew Broder. And then on Saturday, I'll be at Ice House with my free jazz band.
Right on. So when you play jazz, are there any standards coming?
No, I don't really play standards.
I always like Killer Joe. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I don't know. The kind of I'm more like in the world of like Sun Ra and like maybe like Mingus, but it's not like standards. It's not like swing. There's a lot of different kinds of jazz, I guess.
I guess I can't bring my trumpet and jam with you then because
maybe you should.
That's cool. So yeah, what else do you want? Have you been to the Twin Cities before?
I've been once or twice, but I hadn't really spent a lot of time just getting to know the city. This time I have more time, so if anyone has any recommendations, I saw Minnehaha Falls yesterday. That was really nice. Yeah, nice. I've been to Owamni. That's the best. I'm gonna go back.
Right on. Yeah, the last time I was there, we took Adam Evans there, Dr. Evans, because he was in town. We had a movie showing of Smoke Signals, and he came in town. It was so fun to have him there, and I was kind of the producer of that, and that was the last time I was at Owamni, and Sean Sherman just does a great job. Yeah, you can always stop by, Franklin Avenue, too, is a native corridor here in Minneapolis, and a lot going on there. There's the Minneapolis American Indian Center. I'll be there at 2:30. I have to scout out some things, and then powwow.
Actually, I think I'll be at the American Indian Center tomorrow for like a lunch. I think it's open to the public. If anyone wants to come.
Oh, hey, what time's that? I'm hungry.
I think it's at noon.
That sounds cool. Well, there you go. That's something else going on. And then, got the powwow grounds, and then there's a great, and I don't know if you heard the ad, but there's a great, right connected to the powwows, there's All My Relations Art Gallery, and there's a brand new art display there that the opening was just a couple nights ago, and it's very cool. So, if you can get down on Franklin Avenue and hang out with us resi urban Indians, and chill out, that would be cool.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Right on. Like, we just had a conversation over the radio show, and, 30,000 people just heard us rapping about Franklin Avenue. So what now? What's next? So you do other kinds of music. Are you going to look into doing a country album or anything like that? What's your scope? Because you sound really diverse with your music tastes. With your father and doing that, but stay with the jazz for sure.
Yeah, I feel pretty open. I mean, I really like writing songs these days, and so I'm gonna keep doing that. I think that I actually grew up playing country music, and so that's sort of my home base in my heart. And so I think I actually try to explicitly not do that because I'm it's already there. I don't need that for myself.
Country fusion, maybe a little twang and a little improvising on the dominant seventh chord.
Maybe.
or maybe not. So, where do you get your inspiration for like lyrics? I mean, are you constantly writing thoughts down? Are you taking notes to what's happening in your life, or observing other people's life? I know
Yeah.
there's a lot to it when you get deep with lyrics.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. I mean, all of that. I've been keeping journals since I was like 10, and I get inspired by people and films a lot lately. But I also really like reading. I get a lot of inspiration from books, from like fiction and poetry, and even like theory. Like I like to read like Fanon and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just a nerd. I like to read.
That's
And
cool.
people write so beautifully, and like you can just sort of like have, just be inspired, or like even like kind of be in conversation with like certain lines, like they call it intertextual, I think.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. And we just did. That's awesome. Uh, so, did you go to school? Did you get college? Or you just get on the road and just your school's been, really woodshedding your instruments and your voice?
Both actually. Like I went to Dartmouth, one of them
Oh,
Dartmouth Indians. But I also, for music, I mostly learned like being like mentored and like being on the road with just different touring acts, like as a bass player.
that's amazing. And was it really hard to learn the bass, especially if you were playing that with you were young, because there's no frets in the bass, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of muscle memory for sure. I used to practice like all day. I don't know, I was like really nerdy in high school and just kind of like would lock up and practice.
That's cool. That's a form of meditation and talking to the
Definitely.
creator, especially when you're working on those jazz scales.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, guys, that's woodshedding, and everything else comes when you're doing that, everything else comes free. Everyone talks about, like, the Beatles, and I'm regressing, sorry, but, talk about the Beatles, and they didn't realize that the Beatles played 7 hours a day every day
Yeah.
in Germany, and that's where they got their chops, so when they
Right.
started
The
writing all that
repetition
music.
the repetition is so meditative too, like you said, and like it really is like when I'm performing on a stage, it's like you just kind of trance out, honestly. It feels like ceremony, and that's like the only way that I know how to do it. I actually don't have the kind of chops to play like bebop or like that kind of jazz that's like really hard to access, but like I think because I grew up like jamming folk music, like you just play the same tune over and over again for like an hour, but like that's it.
Mm,
That's really, if it's really good, that's all you need.
that is, and that brings you back to your country roots that you don't wanna talk about. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, geez. And don't ever get old, because I was thinking of another question and now it's totally gone. But yeah, practicing and meditation and what you're talking about there, really the woodshed, and getting those notes and making them sound the way you want them to sound.
And I
Isn't
think
that
also
amazing?
it's like you wanna learn how to speak from the heart. Like as a person, you want to learn that, and we're all, I think, in our communities, like that's how we are raised. But like learning how to do that on your instrument, that's
Mhm.
like the lifelong sort of goal. And I think you can only do that if you approach your instrument like you do with talking, like you just do it all day. You just have to do it
Right.
to
Well,
communicate.
the last concert I was at was Bruce Springsteen. He was just here in town, and, he's got that line. I learned how to make my guitar talk,
Mhm.
and I always think of that as a really kind of a really cool line. So we only have a minute left, and boy, this has been just really fun. How do people find out more about you with website, Instagram, and
Mhm.
what else do you young ones do?
I got a website. It's just my name, Mali Obomsawin. I'm Abenaki from Odanak, by the way. I didn't introduce myself really like that, but and just wanted to do that. I'm
No, I
also on
appreciate that.
yeah, I'm
I do
also on
appreciate that.
Instagram.
I'm sorry. I do appreciate that. Sorry about interrupting you. It was just hard for me to pronounce, and I'm glad you brought that around. That's a good one. And so Instagram, and then tonight again, and tomorrow night one more time, please, for people like me that have a good memory, but it's short.
So tonight at the Walker, and then on Saturday night, not tomorrow night, but Saturday night at Ice House.
Right on. Big Peeny Gigi, thank you so much for being on. This was a lot of fun, and hope to have you on again. This is up and coming, and music is the language of the heart, I really believe.
That's right, Giuliani. Thank you so much.
Right on. Have a great day, and hope to see you this weekend. Ho!
Wow.
Go ahead, do it one time.
Ho! We say
right on. All right. We'll see you. Ho! Wow, that was great. Oh, wow. Just remember at the Walker and then the Ice House, you guys, this was just a really lot of fun. And up next, we're going to have our friend Ruth Anne Buffalo, CEO of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. And, we're going to take a quick break here. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Ho! Wow. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Dasani Gowe Weni I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. CMOS presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, ripping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 59, then Friday, rain and thunderstorms expected with a high of 73. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has the best roast beef sandwiches in the Twin Cities, but don't miss out on the chicken, fish, brisket, Philly steak, and more. Maverick's is located in Roseville on Lexington Avenue, 1 mile south of Highway 36. Visit mavericksbeef.com.
AM 950 KTN up, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Oh, that was really fun. This is Native Roots Radio, and if you get a chance to get out and see that music, jazz, and just a young person with all that great energy, going to be playing at the Walker tonight, and then at the Ice House on Saturday. We're going to bring our friend Ruth Anne Buffalo on here, and Ruth, so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on Native Roots Radio. How have you been?
Good. How are you?
You kind of went sideways, and now, there you are.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm having technical difficulties, but I'm here. Madzigadadz, thank you. And Dosha, hello. Thanks for having Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center part of the show tonight.
Right on. Hey, haven't talked to you in a while, but I do see your updates, and let's get into that right now. There's a lot going on, and, you guys, support and uplift Native women and families in our community. And I just think it's really important to talk about that and all the great work that Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center does.
Thank you. Today we had our sexual assault awareness event. And so it was really, really good to see everybody come together and do some crafting. They had different stations. One was painting, another one like just free painting, freestyle painting. And then on little tiny easels, it was kind of cool. And then they also had another station for beading, another station for medicine pouches with the medicines. And then we also had these miniature little plants, like succulent plants with like teal ribbons to go around them. It was a good day. Just food, dessert, and just coming together and listening to music. It was good.
That's awesome. And that's so needed too, because, our community has gone through so much rough things in this past year. So that's just great to hear. And, I'm still here waiting to hear if the official in May, if there's an official cakewalk happening. I'm all about that.
Yes, there is an official cakewalk occurring. There will be a few different opportunities for cakewalk in May for sure with American Indian Month, but our open house is scheduled for May 21st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we plan to have a cakewalk. There's also going to be a carnival themed event in partnership with NAC and the Maternal and Child Health Program, and looking forward to also having a cakewalk join the carnival festivities. And then we'll also be having our spring feast on May 15th. Our monthly sweat lodge on site is last Friday of the month, 5 p.m. And then every other Friday, we have the Native Survivor Empowerment Group. And then the first Monday of every month, we have our Caregiver Support Group. So yeah, lots of moving pieces. We also have a cultural night that is promoting a sober, healthy alternative activity for the tenants and the community. And that's every other Monday at 6 p.m. in the gym or the community room.
That's awesome. And, let's talk about in a minute here about the great thing that's happened where we've turned kind of bigger apartments into single apartments above Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. One thing I wanted to ask you before we talk about that is there going to be there's a parade and a float going to be, is there floats happening in this parade?
Yes, I believe the parade is May 1st, the Friday, and
Mhm.
you start at Cedar Park or Cedar Field, excuse me, at
Mhm.
10:30 a.m. But they will have light breakfast and coffee, and it's the same parade route as last year, and we'll end where we began at Cedar Field, and there will be food trucks and all that good stuff. Announcements of the float winners. I believe Red Lake College won last year, and
Yeah.
Minnesota Center won the year before. But the theme, I believe, is building healthy and strong.
Ruth, I think your headphones are going out. We just lost Ruth. Um,
Oh,
can you hear me,
can
Ruth?
you hear? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if your
Sorry
battery's
about
going
that.
out or no problem.
Oh.
I don't know if your battery's going out, but I can hear you pretty well now.
Okay.
Yeah, just that last part about the parade route and then Red Lake won last year. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Red Lake Tribal College won last year, and Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center won the parade the year before. So it's a traveling
Mm.
trophy, and we're looking forward to another fun, eventful parade day, May 1st.
That's awesome. And I wonder, are you gonna let us know, or is it gonna be a secret what the theme is of your float?
We have a lot of ideas, but yeah, we're hoping to um, be super involved with the other floats and hopefully um, get at least place. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It'll be fun because it's building a healthy and strong community. So that's pretty broad, and yeah, we're just looking forward to having fun.
Yeah, absolutely, and we certainly need that now with things. And I'm wondering, Ruth, if you don't mind talking a little bit about the work that your organization does, and what I mean by that is let our listeners, because we've talked about this before, just know about what the process was with the apartments above the center and how this has been finished and now they're single unit. Well, you can tell a lot better than me.
Sure. The top two floors, so Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, where we are located in East Phillips neighborhood, Ventura Village, and so our address is 2300 15th Avenue South. We're just 2 blocks south of the Indian Center on the Franklin Avenue, on the American Indian art and culture corridor. And so in Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center has been around for 40 years, and just last year, we had a huge renovation project of the top 2 floors. The tenant units, floors 4 and 3, were completely gutted. And so we went from 2 to 3 bedroom family units, 7 on each floor. And we now have 12 on each floor, 24 total. 20 of which are studio efficiencies and 4 are 1 bedroom units. So 20 of the 24 units must go through Hennepin County's coordinated entry system, and eligibility requires, some of the eligibility criteria is high priority homelessness and long-term homelessness and disabilities. So it's been quite the process. We are at capacity currently, and we have a lot of amazing individuals in the tenant space. So yeah, we're looking forward to supporting the tenants to the fullest on a stronger and healthier path forward for sure.
Awesome. Hey, Ruth, before I let you go, let people know how they can donate and find out more information about Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Sure. Our website is www.miwrc.org /donate. If you're willing or able to donate or share the link, that would be greatly appreciated.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on. And we got to, like I said before, last time you were on, we got to make this more often. So I really appreciate you checking in. And thanks again for coming on.
Yes, mods get odds. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. That was Ruth Anne Buffalo. Hey, we're going to have our friend Gina Peltier jump on right now. And we had a lot to talk about. So, Gina, again, Big Peeny Gigi, thank you so much for coming on Native Roots Radio. Good to see you.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for inviting me on. We got so much going on this year that I haven't had a chance to come on. And so I'm excited to be here and to chat about a lot going on. How have you been, Robert?
Really good, and just busy like you. And we got a couple minutes here, and I want to just touch base just to the forefront, and then the next segment we'll talk about the stuff that you guys have been doing, which has really been exciting. But I just want to get your take on this unbelievable, terrible bill that was just passed today. And the writer was from Minnesota, and here we go again, fighting big corporations and trying to keep our water clean.
It's the same story over and over and over again. Am I right? And I, like so many others, are so angry right now at this, especially with the work that I do, at the state policy level, just thinking that, our federal government can come in and make a decision like this, without even thinking about the citizens who live here in Minnesota. This water here in Minnesota flows all the way south to the Gulf of Mexico, and the water in the Gulf of Mexico flows all the way to Europe, and then it also flows north to our neighbors in Canada. So thousands upon thousands of people rely on the water right here from Minnesota. And these corporations, they don't care. We've seen it. We saw it with Line 3, we saw it with Dakota Access Pipeline, and we saw it with the mining companies that have been here, the past 50 years. They don't care about the citizens who live on this land. They only care about fattening their pockets. And unfortunately, right here in Minnesota is some of the last of the most pristine water we have in the world. And these corporations coming after it doesn't surprise me. We know they don't care about citizens. We know that they are just in it to fatten their pockets. But what we also know that they don't think we know is that, all these devastating projects like mining, like pipelines, like the data centers that are coming in, we never needed any of it. Even with these mining companies, we never needed those minerals. We have plenty of other resources we could and should be utilizing to build our infrastructure. And I can go into that for days and days and days. Even if you take a look at hemp, as we never needed fossil fuels, we all know that some of Henry Ford's first automobiles ran off of hemp fuel, and the whole body was made of hemp steel, which is 1,000 times stronger than the steel we use today. So it's just like, what? Let's use these other resources.
Hey, we're with Gina Peltier, and we're going to take a quick break. We got a lot to talk about, and water is life. And good to see you, Gina. We got a lot to talk about and a lot of updates coming. So, hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Please stay with us.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back. This is Native Roots Radio. I don't know if you caught that, Gina, but Wendy put in a bear roar in the end of that intro. So we're not only protecting the wolves, but the bears. Oh, wow. Hey, we were talking. We're with our friend Gina Peltier, and we were talking just earlier about the BWCA mining ban that was voted on, and just terrible. 50-49 the vote, and now it's waiting for the orange one's signature, and it's just devastating. And again, I really appreciate you talking about that. Gina, I know there's other things going on too, and I'd really like to get an update of what you've been doing, because again, I've been liking all your stuff on Facebook. So let's talk about what's happening.
Yeah, most definitely. You got me all up in my feels there talking about what just happened to our boundary waters. And yeah, we know that Orange Man is in office is most likely going to sign off that. But yeah, so currently working really, really hard. I'm co-chair, our board chair for MUCWA. It's an Indigenous women-led organization focused on uplifting Indigenous sovereignty and climate justice. And my brother Joy Peltier is the co-executive director. And I also work within the Rise and Repair Alliance. This year, MUCWA, along with IEN, the Rise Coalition, MCEA, we've been super busy pursuing protections for wild rice. And so a lot of us here know how important wild rice is, especially to the Anishinaabe. You know, it's one of the reasons we are in this area. Our prophecies told us, you know, because the Anishinaabe, we originated over in the New York area, and our prophecies told us that there's going to be a light-skinned visitor coming, and if they bring gifts, then you know everyone's going to live well. But if they bring weapons, then they will wipe out our whole entire tribe of people. And they said to prevent this, you need to move to where the food grows on water. And we migrated to all the way around the Great Lakes. And our prophecy says, as long as you take care of the good berry, what we call wild rice, that our people will thrive for infinite future generations in front of us. And so here in Minnesota, wild rice grows. It doesn't grow like it used to, and we lose about 6 to 7% of it a year, which is devastating, especially considering, large indigenous nations, the Anishinaabe, the Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, have all like thrived on it since time immemorial, and then the settlers come over, and it takes less than 200 years to cause a lot of devastation, not just to our wild rice, but to our waters. If you look at the industrial agriculture that they threw on us, that has caused us to have over 40% less nutrients in our topsoil. And we all know that large indigenous nations have thrived since time immemorial, cultivating gardens and farming the land without taking any nutrients out of the soil. We are clear evidence that we don't need to be using these practices on our soil as, using pesticides and poisons. And so we are pursuing protections for wild rice through state legislator. Quite exciting. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. This year, we decided to pursue 4 bills. The first one is the one recognizing the inherent rights of wild rice. We all have inherent rights to live and thrive on this beautiful earth of ours. Mother Earth provides everything we need to thrive. And so it's been really monumental to bring that conversation into a state politics level, and to hear, the conversations being had, between the politicians and lawmakers and stuff like that. And then the second bill is wild rice risk justification. And so this would have to, this bill would ensure that there has to be a justification for a large project to come in. And if it would have any threat against the wild rice, then it would just automatically be like, nope, you can't have it here, which, could solve a lot of our problems. The third bill is a pesticides bill. Right now, the leading cause of death for European Americans is cancer and diabetes. And we know that these pesticides are causing a lot of the cancers. And I myself and my friends and family are seeing the devastating effects of the use of pesticides firsthand. My grandparents lived into like their late 80s. And right now, my parents and my friends' parents and family's parents are all dying like in their 60s. And so we have a pesticides bill, and then we have a boating restriction bill. And so we've been pursuing that. We've been working with great legislators, but at the same time, we've also been facing, a little bit of pushback, a little bit of racist rhetoric, to some of from the Republicans. But that was, we knew that was going to happen, especially seeing our Indigenous women and Two-Spirit legislators go through, especially when they introduced land back legislation and MMIW legislation. So we were prepared for that. We got some of the bills through committee hearings, but as we all know, it does take a couple years to get bills passed. Really appreciative of the legislators who are encouraging us and supporting us. We really have gotten a great turnout from our community. All the tribes of Minnesota support this. And we've really been able to pack the rooms at the committee hearings. And my favorite thing is like when the elders, those scary elders are like, keep up the good work, we support you, like that's what really keeps me moving, and then our youth too, the way they show up and they want to step up is so amazing. And so we do have some events coming up. We have Earth Day at the Capitol. So we know the Boundary Waters is having a huge event at the Capitol on Earth Day. I believe that starts at 10 a.m. And then the Rise and Repair Alliance is going to come in. We're going to serve some food to everyone. I think it's going to be pizza. I think we're going to keep it easy because after the decision of what happened today, we're expecting a lot of people to show up. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have another event at the Capitals focused on data centers. And so we're expecting a big turnout, especially people showing up for the Boundary Waters Earth Day event. And these data centers come in, Robert, it's super scary. I'm really concerned about our water, our electricity rates, and then also I'm super concerned about our workers. You know, with these corporations wanting to put in these data centers to advance AI, do we have protections in place for our workers? We know this AI is going to cause a lot of displacement. And so that's why, you know, we are putting our foot down and saying absolutely no data centers right now. We do have a data center moratorium petition going around, and you can check out all this information and what we're doing on our websites. And so Mucwa's website is mukwaminkana.org. That's mukwamiikana.org. And then also riseandrepair.org. So y'all, like, let's get involved, let's show up, let's do what we can. And I want to thank everyone out there and all the water protectors for standing up. And you guys need to take care of yourselves because the time's coming. It looks like we're going to have to show up in the streets again, you know, to show them, like, really, we need to protect each other. So
Gina, thank you so much for coming on. Let's do this again real soon. Great update. And keep up the great work. Really follow all the great work you're doing. Thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, Robert. Have a great night, y'all.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Support